Good evening, Kenya. It is some hours for the Gen Z's Tuesday demonstration. Yesterday, when His Excellency President Ruto was in Bomet, he treated the media and also treated the Gen Z's. What shocks me is that the president doesn't want to touch onto the things that are actually affecting the people of Kenya. Our greatest problem is the budgeted corruption. Our greatest problem is the public debt borrowed with an intention to loot. Our greatest problem is a thought that this country belongs to some people. Our greatest problem, and this must end, is a belief in some few leaders that they join in different groups and saying that these are my followers, and think that they can even make drastic decisions and be followed. I don't know whether our politicians are really reading the road. Kenya has come of age. Our country has come of age. It's completely different. Some leaders still think that Kenya will never be the same. Can you remember? Can we flash back to what happened in the country of Sudan? The president brought about the finance bill, and the citizens later on refused. And they said, no, this is draconian. The same with the one we had in our country. What happened, or rather what followed after that, is that the president had to drop the finance bill. Upon dropping the finance bill, he was again told that now drop down the cabinet secretaries, the ministers. That's the right term delegate. He did that. After that, they said to the president that you are the problem. I'm telling you, if the president of Sudan could have done the right thing at the right time, everything could have been good. Every now and then they are saying, oh, where's the leader of the Gen Zs? Why do they need the leader of the Gen Zs who doesn't know about the history? Let's flash back to South Africa, where the leader of the revolution was well known, Steve Biko. Where is he? He went very early. They killed him. I want Mr. President to know this. That in as much as you want to know the leader of the agencies, and you are saying that it is enough time that these kind of people to come out and face you, that they can't be synonymous, they can't be magnanimous, they can't be just there in some space for. Mr. President, what do you need? You want the leader of the Gen Z to come out, and they've already told you that they have got no leader. These are young and millennial patriotic Kenyans who have found themselves in an space with a common, reasonable problem. their problems is quite the same. And for that reason, Mr. President, immediately any person, anyone introduces himself to be vocal, your government follows on them. And here comes an information that you want this group to stop being just an ex matter. Mr. President, if you can only do one action to Kenyans, if you can take the responsibility, if you can just accept to dissolve the entire government and come back to elections, to campaigns, so that you also put yourself in the same race to confirm whether Kenyans are really with you, you will be my very good friend. Mr. President, kindly dissolve the government, because that's the mistake that the South Sudan and North did at the beginning. Mr. President, the only way, the only solution, and the only way this country can be governed, depending on what has already happened, and depending on what is actually the real intact situation in our country, that is corruption in our motherland, nepotism in our motherland, actually abduction in our motherland, and every other bad thing in our nation. Mr. President, if you want to assist our country, if you want to assist Kenya, and you want to solve and sort out our country, please dissolve the entire government and don't resign. Dissolve the entire government and people, the people of the part of Kenya, in all elected positions, to get back to seek for fresh mandate from the people. All these leaders, every time, every now and then, are just stamping to Kenyans. Actually, Mr. President, Kenyans are realizing that this is not the kind of people they ought to have elected in office. You for Kenyans, only one single duty: dissolve the entire government and call for fresh elections from MCA to the president. That one will help us. Resigning by now will also punish us. We want you to dissolve the entire government. You're not exempted. Come and contest. Get young men and women to compete with you, so that you get to believe on my statistics. Mr. President, Kenyans are not with you. Every time you come out to speak, what they think about, in fact, some always wait for you to finish talking, then they tune back the television. Mr. President, for you to regain any sort of love for me, for you to stop me from going to the streets, Mr. President, dissolve the entire government. Our country is not in the right trajectory. Thank you.